These guys are used to being winners. They come from winning programs, and obviously it's been a tough go lately. What's the mental psyche of the team right now, Coach?
Well, I thought the guys responded pretty well to our film session today, and practiced fairly well, good energy. So I thought it was a really productive day.
Zach, and then Jordan Spurgeon.
Hello, Coach. Thank you for your time. I want to pivot to another topic. What has been your team's approach to recruiting high school students, not just here in Arizona, but across the country, with the pandemic completely shutting down several states and the NCAA's cutback of Division I scholarships?
Well, it's been challenging, and again, everyone has to deal with the same situation and not being able to get out in gyms and evaluate, and that's been the case since the spring. So we're just trying to do the best we can. We have a number of guys signed for the next class, and we're working with future classes, just doing the best we can with communicating with athletes without, the ability to go out under natural circumstances and watch them play.
Hey, Coach, Jalen Graham and Jalen House really seemed like they were on another level of energy that maybe the rest of the team was lacking. Is that something they're all sort of realizing and hoping to match that energy moving forward, or is that something that is just going to take more time?
Yeah, I said in my post-game comments they were the bright spots in the game, just how they competed. And Jalen Graham, the last two games since coming back, has really been a positive for us. And he just looks like the guy that I was watching in the preseason workouts, and it didn't always translate early in the season, but he's really playing at a pretty good level right now. Just got to keep maintaining that. And Jalen House always, he always defends. He's pesty on defense. He got a charge, hit a couple shots. He made a few nice passes. He had a nice pass to Jalen Graham for a dunk. So, he's certainly helped himself, put himself in a position to earn some more playing time.
Cam Cox.
Hey, Coach, what's the hardest part about getting your team refocused, after this stretch that kind of you guys have had? How do you get them to turn the page quickly?
Well, it's film study. It's watching, the first 8 minutes, watching, both ends of the court, our transition defense, some of our shot selection, and try and make adjustments. And then that's where we're at right now with it. And, the guys, we had, like I think Michelle said, we get a lot of winners, a lot of guys that have won a lot of games here over the last 3 years. And it's a tough stretch to go through and very painful for them. And we'll try and, figure out a way to snap ourselves out of it.
Bobby, in regards to Jalen Graham, is he fully recovered from his bout? Is he got all of his energy back? Is he 100%?
Well, I think I noticed a few times when he was fatigued, in that game, but he is playing really hard too. So I think some of it is attributed to that, but he missed several weeks. It's hard to replace those repetitions. So his conditioning level isn't going to be the same as to when he left the program with mono, but he's had now a good number of days and a lot of minutes in 2 games under his belt. So I'm hoping he's getting closer.
Will you continue to bring him off the bench, or is there a possibility that could change?
I'm not sure. I'm still considering a lot of things at the moment. So we'll see tomorrow.
Hey, Bobby, with Chris Austin, obviously starting the last handful of games and sort of filling a position of need for you guys there, how has his performance just been relative to your expectations when, you first recruited him and brought him in?
Yeah, he's been a real success story. He's been fun to coach. He's worked hard, shows up every day, has a good attitude, great work ethic, and he's a battler. He's still going to learn too and develop. He hasn't played basketball that long, so his IQ for the game, I think, will continue to evolve and develop. He played really well versus at Oregon State, and he's got to respond to maybe not being at his best the last 2 games.
Coach, you mentioned that this stretch has been painful for your guys. I want to know, what's it been like for you?
Well, it's just reflection and, self-evaluation, things I need to do to fix the problem. I try and solve problems I've built 2 programs, so I've been through the good and the bad. I mentioned I've been on an NBA team that's lost 12 straight games. It was one of the most visible things that I've gone through in basketball. And there's no guarantees. No one's going to give you anything. You got to go out and make it happen to change what's going on.
Mike Caratanudo, Connor Mormon.
And Coach, I mean, Jalen the other day talked about, a lot of sometimes like in practice, he feels the energy is good, but sometimes if one thing's not going, one group's way, that just kind of maybe letting down a little bit. Do you feel that, overall the energy in practice has been good for the team?
I think Jalen was onto something in terms of, we're wrestling. We were wrestling with the team, and I had some early press conferences talking about some things that I was just concerned about that were not happening in practice. And I'm not going to go and point the finger at who's doing it or which guys are doing it, but we have a very similar routine and practice plan that I've executed the last 3 years. When things have gone pretty well, it just has not really translated to the results we're hoping for. But we could only build on what we did today. And today, I saw some urgency. I saw, us working on areas of need and guys trying to address those problems.
Good afternoon, Coach. So looking at how your team has performed at home this season, they're 1-5. How much do you think with the pandemic and there being no fans, how much of an effect do you think that lack of crowd energy is having on your guys?
I think it's a pretty level playing field outside of you don't have to travel anywhere. You don't have to go anywhere. Outside of that, there isn't a true advantage. I haven't noticed much of a difference between playing at Desert Financial or McHale Center or up in Connecticut, anywhere. So it's all been very much the same.
Anybody have anything else?
I'll go again.
Go ahead.
Obviously, the first half has been an issue. You guys have had slow starts in a lot of games. Can you do anything in practice, or is it anything you can do in game day to kind of shake things up and maybe try something different?
Well, we're going to experiment with some things, and you're right. We have not played well, and we dug a hole for ourselves in the first half of the game. So it seems like we have issues with the first half of the game and then late in the game. So we're doing okay in the middle. We got to clean up the early stages of the first half, and then how we finish opponents and how we execute, in the last couple of minutes of these games.